And so when the white and red bindu or subtle essences are meeting at the heart center, for a regular ordinary person it is like fainting unconscious, and for a practitioner, a meditator, it means they're abiding in the absorption in their practice. So when we talk about an ordinary person's experience of this, it is like fainting unconscious. And it really is exactly like that. It is being unaware, unconscious. So there is no ability to recognize that one is actually abiding in the mind's actual nature itself, in the abiding nature of mind. And so again, one kind of moves away from there, even though all the discursive thoughts and emotions have dissolved back into the ground of all, or the alaya, the basic ground consciousness. But if one is not familiarized with this awareness through the course of one's life, through practicing, then one fails to recognize. And upon failing to recognize, then one sort of comes to from this, what is like an unconsciousness, then one kind of like awakens from that state. And this is said to be the time when the phowa should be applied.
这个白红的这个 essence 这个精华也叫白红的这个冰度，中文说这有红菩提跟白菩提。当他们在这个心轮中结合的时候，对一般的人来说，他们就是晕倒了，然后是没有这个意识。对于有修行的人来说，他就是进入到了禅修。其实我们说这个对一般人来说，他是晕倒没有意识了，其实是在指他没有这个认识到，他其实红白菩提在融合，那么他现在进入这个新的本性，但他不能够，因为他没有修行，他没有认识到他在这个新的本性中。我们说这个时候是做破瓦的最好的时间。
So, first of all, if one has practiced and trained in the phowa practices and brought one's phowa practice to consummation, to accomplishment, then it is actually said, it is allowed, that this individual who has accomplished his phowa practice can actually perform phowa on himself or herself before death has completely occurred, before one has completely died. But I think this is very difficult to have to kind of know exactly the point in which to perform phowa on yourself, because in the phowa teachings it describes in detail the different ways to recognize the stages of dying and all of this, and the sign, and it says you must know for a fact that you are definitely at the last moment before death, that there's no way to prolong your life. Because if phowa is performed too early, then actually it is negative karma accrued through performing phowa on yourself before the stages of death have actually begun. So even so, I think having to kind of decide and voluntarily perform phowa on oneself, it's very difficult. It's tricky. And so, however, if you have received the phowa instructions and you have, gotten comfortable with the phowa practice through the course of your life, then know that at death, our consciousness, our awareness is 9 times crisper, 9 times more aware and vivid. The clarity of our awareness is 9 times sharper than it is during the course of our lives. So if through a friend reading the phowa out loud, we hear the sound of the phowa, then because our awareness is very, very clear and very sharp, then we will easily be able to kind of go through the practice ourselves. And so I think that this is really this would be a very wonderful opportunity or chance for us to kind of perform Phowa on ourselves with the help of a friend and so forth, because of the clarity of our mind at that time.
首先对修行破瓦的禅修者，他如果已经圆满了破瓦这个法，可以在他死亡之前来对自己做这个破瓦的法。但是呢，这个是比较困难的，因为一定要知道，而且很困难才能知道这个什么时刻是应该是死亡的这一刻，真正能不能够确认这个是真正是这是死亡的最后一刻。因为如果不是在死亡的最后一刻的话，如果是你自己做破瓦做得早了的话，这也是有很大的业障的。所以但是如果在这一生对破瓦有修行，然后在死亡的这个降临的时候呢，有朋友来读这个破瓦这个法，对你来读这个破瓦的法，当你在这个临死的时候，你的这个意识呢是比我们平时这个意识要敏锐和清明9倍，所以这个时候是很好的一个机会做到破瓦，所以这是在朋友的帮助下是一个很好的一个机会。
The reason why our awareness is 9 times sharper, 9 times crisper than the time we are embodied is because at present our cleverness and our awareness is very much contingent upon our physical elements. Our consciousness is sort of embodied and dependent upon our physical body. So depending upon the alignment of our channels and our physical elements, this will affect our clarity of our minds. But at death, the consciousness is no longer kind of held to or constrained by the physical body and the subtle, the channels and so forth. So that is why it is unencumbered by that, and so it is there's a lot of clarity, crispness. And not only that, but also the beings in the Bardo state, they actually have some degree of clairvoyance or psychic ability. And this isn't the kind of clairvoyance or psychic power we gain because of meditating and practicing, but it is simply the clairvoyance that comes from not being kind of obscured by being stuck inside a physical body and having the physical realm and also the subtle channels to contend with. So the consciousness is just kind of unencumbered by the physical body, so there comes with that a deeper level of awareness or clarity.
我们之所以说在我们的在死亡那一刻的意识是比平时的意识要更敏锐跟清明9倍呢，是因为我们现在在这个肉身中，我们受到了这个肉身的这个限制，比如说我们的这个内部的元素，还有这个我们的这个脉、中脉、左右脉没有没有完美比如说这个中脉这个并不直那么这个就影响到我们这个心的这个清明，这个意识的清明。那当我们死亡的时候，就不会再受到这个限制。对于这些在中阴的过程中的这些众生呢，他呢也有一定的这个神通。我们禅修的人呢也会有神通那就是受少一点身体肉身的元素跟这个脉的这个局限性。那么中阴身呢，它是没有这个肉身，所以它为什么会有一些的神通和这个psychic power。